Levi had his physical this morning. Got that done. Then I went to Walmart and got some paint stripper and some. Walmart doesn't carry. It's always been convenient if you're in Walmart to grab some of those things that you would normally have to go to Home Depot or McCoy's or Lowe's or something for. But lately, Walmart is narrowing down that type of stuff. So I did find some stripper. I don't know. It's cold out today and I didn't want to do it in the house because of the bird. Although smelling stripper doesn't really bother me. But I didn't want to do it in the house. When I got home from town, after I got the stripper, I got a couple of cans of paint. Just some spray paint to touch up what part of the cabinet that's white. And I've already got stripper on it. I timed it for 20 minutes because it said 20 minutes. And I think because it's cold or cool. I know some of y'all have really cold, but it's in the mid 50s here. And I just think it's too cool, though, to be stripping out there underneath the carport. In fact, what I should have done is at least pulled it out into the yard where the sun was beating down on it. That probably would have helped. And it bubbled just in a few places, so I scraped it. But it just wasn't enough cutting in, so I put another coat on there. And I'm going to give it 30 minutes this time. And then after that, if it still hasn't bubbled up enough, so I was thinking about where can I put a hot light? You know, like the clamp lights we put on the animals. I can bring it onto the back porch and hang a clamp light down over it and throw that heat on top of it. Or possibly I can drag it out. It's not going to keep the air. Maybe with the sun beating on it. You know how when it's cold out, but you sit in the sun, you feel good? The sun may heat it up enough that it could start working. But I think that's my problem with getting that stripper off, is that it's too cool out. Anyway, I will show y'all the progress as soon as I go out, when I go out the next time around. I'll show y'all how it's looking. All right, see you in a minute. All right. I didn't even think about grabbing my phone, so y'all aren't going to get to see this first layer bubbled up, but there it is. And I've got, evidently, the first paint job it ever had, somebody put stripes on it. Light blue and dark blue stripes. So, you can see the wood right there. It may have even had a cream underneath it, because somewhere that cream is coming into play. But this is another coat. I'm going to leave it about 30 minutes. So, let's see what happens. See you in a bit. Alright, so I've got the base started. All of this is old, used wood. These are 1x12s that were used for something, and then it was taken apart and redone. So I've got the sides of the base with the little indentation down there just to be something decorative at the bottom, so it's just not just straight. It's not fancy, but it's just a little curve out to make it, you know, a little bit nicer than just a rectangled box with some shelves in it. And like I said, this is old. Look at this. Big old knot in it. Somebody's filling it with something. I'm sure this is not something that is anything colored that I would have painted. So these must have come from Dad, from maybe some cabinet he used to have or something. Anyway, I've done some pilot holes. You can see holes all in it from some things from before. But I've done some pilot holes, and I'm, like, here's one. These are all done already. So now once I've got this done and in, then I will take my tape, because, you know, without a bottom, this can go out, that one can go out, and it'd start looking jaggedy. So what you do is, this is tight here, and nothing can move here. So you take your tape measure and you put it at this corner and you bring it to this corner, and that's what you know your inside shelves have to be. Whatever this dimension is what your inside shelf has to be. I have one shelf down there. See how nasty they are? I've sanded them a little bit and got the rough off of them. That one I cut down just a little bit, so that one will be cut down quite a bit more because it will be inside. This is on the outside because it's on top. That one will be an inside board, so it'll be cut even smaller than that. So anyway, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get my measure there, take my measurement there. This board is going to go right here. This one right here is going to go right here above the indentation here. It's going to go about right here. And then I'm going to put another one right here. But I'm thinking the one I put here, maybe I might do it instead of doing the full length. I don't know. I may be wrong, and I may just do it the way, just 2 more shelves, and this shelf and then one more. But I was thinking about doing the one up here, not quite a 1 by 12, but more like maybe a 1 by 10, and it would be inside a little bit. But I don't know if I'll do that or not. I don't even know if I have a 1 by 10 or another even 1 by 12 in there. What I do know I have is a 1 by 12, but it's full 8 foot long, and it's one of them that I bought to be my shelving above my bedroom, my closets, my new closets. Jensen, what are you doing? I don't know if y'all can see him through this dirty window, but he is out there just digging in something. I don't know what he's digging in. Jensen, come in here. Come on. Anyway, I didn't really want to cut that down because I knew I wanted to cut it in half and it would be the top to 2 of my, above my clothes. But I may just go ahead and do it and use it and be done and just buy another one later on. But anyway, I'm almost basically done with this. It just has to have a paint job to go on top of the dresser. So anyway, I'll get done with this and then I'll show y'all how it looks finished. All right, see you in a minute. All right, I'm going to attempt some gingerbread here. So you can see, I took this, I don't even know what this is. It's just some pipe stuff all hooked together. I found my center mark, which is right there, and I traced out a half of a circle, and then I kept going this way with it, and then going this way with it, and I'm going to cut all these humps out. Give me a little gingerbread to put on the top of this, so it'll match, not completely, but if you remember, or I will show you if you didn't pay attention, didn't notice, not pay attention, but did notice it in the picture, in the video of the dresser, there's got a little bit of scalloping on that dresser. This won't match it perfectly, but it will still be some scallop work to go up top to go along with what's at the bottom. So anyway, let me get this cut out real quick with my jigsaw. Give me 1 second. I'm exhausted. I'm starving, and I've got it done. I've got a 1 by 12 at the bottom for the bottom shelf, but that's a piece of plywood. That's a real 1 by 12 board, but that is plywood that was already, it was a piece of plywood. It's actually an L shaped. I don't know what I had it to. I don't know what I cut something out of it, so what was left was a piece that came down and a piece that went over. It was like an L shape. But the piece that was coming down, the long piece, that piece, was 10 inches wide. And it was just, that is cut at 28 1/4, I think is what that is, that width across there. Literally the L part, the piece that was coming, the long piece that was 10 inches wide, was like 30 inches long. So it was perfect. Just cut a little bit of it off, and then I went ahead and routed the edges of the 2 shelves so they would blend in a little bit better with the routed edges on the other, on the sides. And then I did the scallop at the top, and I will paint it tomorrow. if you can see, I left a little overhang on both sides, a little bit on both sides. And if I think I don't want that much, I'll just cut it off. I'll lay it flat down and make a mark and just cut a little bit. And I may do that. I wanted it to hang off a little bit on both sides. The one in the house that I built has a little bit bigger scallops. It's not as quite as many. And it overhangs a little bit on both ends. But the scallops, you know, they're not that tight. They're a little bit more loose, fluid. Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to throw paint. Oh, Rohan's got to check it out. I'm going to throw some paint on it tomorrow. I'm tired now, and it's cold. It's so cold. I mean, I've been working, and I'm in my shop, but it was... Hear this mass sirens out here. Anyway, I'll paint it tomorrow, and I'll get the whole kit and caboodle moved down the hallway to that end, and then get it staged, and I think it'll look pretty. And then I'm going to send a picture to the man, because I told him, I said, no, you know, he was talking about the dresser, and he said it came in. It looked like they build... Where he was at is an old gas station in Splendora called Sitton's. And the store's been out of business for... They were out of business for a while. Then I think they opened up for a little bit, maybe. But then they went out of business again. They had a feed store in the back. And I don't know if that building he's in is the feed store, the feed building, or if they tore the... Because I feel like when I was still driving my bus, they were tearing down that feed room. So I'm not really for sure. But there's a big building behind that's where he was at. And it looked like the men were in there building kitchen cabinets. There were several men in there working. Then I had to go through their shop into another little building where that little dresser was sitting. And he said, this just came into us. And he goes, I really didn't. He goes, I thought it was in good enough shape. I hated to throw it in the dumpster. And I thought, yeah, I'm glad he didn't throw that in the dumpster. I know it was just 2 drawers, but it was perfect for what I was looking for. I just didn't want it pink and white. I wanted it just white. And then this be white, but I wanted the top. And the top looks really pretty. That is not, I don't know what kind of wood that is. I don't know what they built that top out of, but it turned out okay. It's got an orangey color to it. I tried to darken it with a little bit of a darker stain, and it just sort of, it made it a deeper color, but it really didn't change. It's just an orangey brown color to me. Anyway, but I'm not going to polyurethane. I'm going to leave it like it is with that stain on it. It's drying now. Before I go in, I'm going to put another coat of paint, spray paint on the door, on the base of it. But this, I'm going to paint. I'm hoping I have some white up here. I'll have to look around them. If I don't have any in here, I should have maybe a gallon on the... This is white. Ow. Here's some white. I don't know what's left in there. But I may have some. That might be white right there. I can't tell that with that gray front on it. Anyway, should have some country white or antique. Well, yeah, I should have some antique white, because me and Levi... I had to have Walmart make it the last time I was there, a gallon of it. Of country, not antique, but country white. They're supposed to keep it. They have a place for it, just in their color place, like these color place from Walmart. And it's an already pre-made. They have an antique white, a country white, a bright white, you know, stuff like that. But they were out of the country white on the shelf, the pre-made, what's it called, grab and go. So I had to have her make it. So it's probably, it's what I use to paint that room, what's going to be the new laundry room. So that gallon is somewhere, and I will bring it out here tomorrow and slap some on this on this unit, and get it all painted and put together. These came in handy. Remember when these were gifted to me? The little drums that you use for the drill. Where's the one I was just using? Here it is. You put it, in the drill. And then it's just it's a drum. It's sandpaper, but in a circle form. There's a smaller one somewhere because I was using a little one too. I don't know where I sat it, but it's here. It's amongst all this. Oh, it's already in the box right here. I use this one too. Anyway, those came in really handy. So, to get up in here good, they're so smooth now. And also to do that little plug where the hole was made for a plug to go through. Yeah. The only other thing I think I'm going to do is put a back on it. And I have some of the beadboard right there. I don't think that's 28, but there's almost a full sheet in the other part of the workroom that I think will be full. And then I can put a back on it, and then it'll be beadboard on the back side. And I think that'll be pretty. And then it'll all be white with the beadboard on the back. I think that'll look good, and I'll get that done tomorrow. But I'm done for the night. I'm exhausted. So I will finish this up tomorrow and get y'all a video. All right, love you guys. All right, so I've got the top done, and I used some puppy pads and some tape to cover it while I spray painted. But I also used this brush. So I spray painted, then I brushed through it. And I'll do that a couple of times. No, I won't spray paint it and brush through a couple of times. I did it the first time, so now it'll have brush strokes. So when I come back and paint it, spray it again lightly, you should be able to see the brush strokes through. I like to see brush strokes. I like to see the brush stroke. So I'm hoping that I won't have to do it more than once. Then I got the bottom. It's just a light coat down there on the bottom. I'll do it. I'm not worried about the bottom so much. You won't see it as much as you'll see that part right there underneath. Anyway, and then I'm going to probably go out there right now. I need to straighten out my shop. And it's just warm enough today that I can go out there and work in my shop, because I need to start working on the hutch itself. So I don't know if y'all can hear that bang, bang, banging back over there, but that's Connor in my shop building something himself. I don't know what he's building. Can y'all hear him? All right, I'm gonna head out there right now, let this dry, and go out there and see if I can't straighten up the shop enough that I can do start on that hutch in there. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Right this minute I am. All right, so I've got these two 1x12s. I don't even know how long they are, but I'm going to use them. They are the same length, and these will be the sides to my hutch. Almost 39 inches. So I'm going to do one, then use it as a template for the other one. That one has a hole cut in it for plugs and stuff to go through when it was used for something else. I'm going to leave it like that. That way, if I decide to put like a little wax warmer or something like that in it, the plug can go down off the shelf and over. So I'm going to leave that like that.
The video's on?
Yes.
Nice.
Why? You want to say something?
No.
You want to show them what you built?
It's 39. Oh, yeah, I built this.
It's a hatchet. He made a hatchet. Laura made a hatchet too. So what I'm fixing to do, I've got my jigsaw out. I've come in a little bit, and I'm fixing to do...
Right here.
Yes, there's her hatchet. All right, I'm fixing to do this one. I just do a little decorative detail on it. It'll come down, and it'll come down, and it'll come down, out. And a little curve. After I get that one cut, then I'll lay that board on this board and cut this board. Don't you draw anything on that board. Now move. Thank you. All right, I'll see y'all in a second. All right, so see, this will just be a decorative little edge, but I'm also going to use my router and route out this edge all the way up. And then I will lay that board now. I'm going to lay it now because I don't want a routered edge, because then they would be not the same. If I routered that now and then come and laid it here and did it, then it would be off. There'd be they wouldn't be the same size, because then I'd have to router this one. It would end up being smaller. So I'm gonna use this as a template first, and I'm gonna hook it hook it back down and router the edge. All right, see you in a second. All right, I just got the one side routered and sanded a little bit, so I'll show y'all that. All right, let me get down here. I'm not gonna flip it, I'm just gonna get down. See this routered? I routered it with the router, and then I did a sanding all the way down this edge. I sanded it. So it'll be covered, it'll have a paint, it'll have white on it. I'll paint it white. I mean, it's already white, so it was used from something else, but it's already white. Now I've got to take a little bit off this one. I don't know if y'all can see this line. This was a little bit taller than the other one. But I'll do that in a second. But right now, this one's done. I'm going to sand this hole that was for a plug at one time. I'm going to sand that real quick before I unscrew it. But this side is done. Now I got to start on that side. All right, give me a second. All right, I've got the dresser in. I don't have the drawers in it yet, and the hutch is still out in the shop. And y'all know it's still dark in here because I haven't put the light in. But I got the top, looks like this, which is, it's pretty. It's just not what I was expecting. And I don't know what this is. It literally, it's not mold. It looks like marker ran through something. But regardless, it's going to stay because I'm fine with it. But this is it. And the drawers are outside, and I'll bring the hutch in a little bit, and I'll show y'all the finished, how it looks finished. And as you can see, I can open this outside door. That one down there is the inside one. You could open that one with the armoire in here, but you couldn't open this one. It only opened, well, now I'm catching a box up here. Come on. That box. It only opened, and then it would hit the armoire, right? Like see how it's missing the edge there, but on the armoire it was hitting the edge. So now it's done. And I could actually, there's a little bit of room. I could go this way with it if I wanted to, but it's perfect the way it is. So I'm gonna leave it right here. And I took that trim down. I need to put it back up, but I don't want it to be too tight in that corner, so I'm going to wait till I set the hutch up there and see how it looks. Might not even need the trim back there right now, because with the hutch it may hide the fact that there's trim or not trim. So we'll see how that works. But I'm happy with the little dresser. It was perfect. I think in video you can see down here there's still a little bit of, in places, a little bit of that pink or purpley color shining through. God, I'm not going to take it back out and paint it again. I may touch it up with my brush. All right, see you in a second. Okay. There it is. There's the little dresser. I know for some reason that bottom drawer looks darker than the top. I may have to put another coat on it, but I'm happy. I'm telling y'all, the top looks really good. And then there's the little hutch that I built for it. It turned out really good. And I put some of that beadboard on the back side of it. That just turned out good. And I've got that little lamp on right now, so it'll light up that top shelf, just so y'all have some light to see, because I haven't put the light up in this section of the room yet. And with this light, you get a little bit more light, but not a whole lot. Yeah, you can see a little bit, but not a lot. So I'm super, super happy with the way that turned out. I'm just like really excited, happy. And now I can go through that tote and put what was desk supplies, you know, like stamps, envelopes. I had big envelopes and little envelopes. extra, you know, your checkbooks. I don't carry a checkbook in my purse anymore, but I have checkbooks, you know, checks. So if I have to write one for like when Ronnie comes and does the well, whatever he charges me, usually I just write him a check. Things like that. When I pay my taxes, I pay with a check. So, you know, just everyday stuff that you would keep in a desk. I'll keep that in the top drawer, and I'll use the bottom for, you know, maybe I can just keep the bottom empty. I'm trying so hard to, you know, just pare down what I have, not to have so much consolidate.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the little, it all turned out just,
So he's right here.
I'm in love with it. So the only thing that in camera, when I'm looking at it with my eye, take my phone down and not look through the phone, the cabinet looks fine. You can't tell that drawer is a little lighter. But when I raise it up, you can see that through there. So I may go get the paint and sit down there on the floor real quick and do a coat on that bottom drawer. But besides that, Rohan, you checking it out, baby? He's got to look. This is new. Let me look at this. What do you think? What's under there? That gonna be a place for you to sleep? Okay. He's gonna check everything. I'm watching. He's like, what is Mom doing in that room? Anyway, I'm extremely happy with it. So he's gonna go in there and check that room now. Anyway, I put I've got my yearbooks from school. I took them to the camper, but they would look cute up there beside those couple of photo albums from when I was little, or the kids. The one my grandmother P-Pat made for me. It's pictures of me when I was little, like starting from when I was born with Mom all the way through. And then the other one is just some random pictures that I, you know, back in the day when we all always just had a camera and took pictures. There's just some random pictures of the kids. Mostly Buddy and Tony. When Levi came along, nobody really carried cameras. Not for your everyday use. So,
Thank you.
Anyway, this is how it looks, and I'm excited about it. I'm very, very excited for this little room. And I can even put a couple of baskets on top if I want to make it, you know, take up that space up there that has nothing. All right, I'm going to get this video out to you. Just remember, when you look at something, try to see past what you're seeing. You know, maybe a lot of people would have seen that little dresser in Marketplace and just thought, I don't want a pink and purple dresser. But it was the perfect size. And, you know, with the top stripped down, you've got that, it immediately makes it look like it's maybe not an antique piece, but it looks like it. And then you make a little hutch. The hutch was scraps. Every bit of that was scraps off of other things. I showed y'all those two center shelves right there. Well, the two sides came from some shelving that I think Stephanie sent over. She took some shelves down, I think, in her pantry. And so that's where those came from. And then them other two, those were the sides. And then the two that were the shelves, those were something Dad had sent down. Something that either, I don't know, he just brought down with a bunch of junk. And it, you know, they were ugly and had holes in them and old screw holes and old nail holes. But, you know, cut down to size and a routered edge, they look pretty. So, you know, that's all just pieced together stuff with a $20 dresser. And look what I have. I'm in love with it. In love. In love. I'm in love with it. All right. See you guys later. God bless y'all.